Seeing as we are doing Rex, I'm probably going to speed through Dark Age a bit, just because, most of the time there's not a lot going on. And we're going to have Mongols versus Koreans, which is very interesting. In theory, Koreans kind of counter Mongols if both players are going for used plays, just because wagons have high PS armor and Mangadai are kinda whatever. But then wagons are probably pretty bad against step lancers. I wonder if Steve plays aggressively to contest the hunt and goes and mills it. I don't think that'd be a good idea, but it's something that is possible. I have to say I do quite like how close the wood line is at the back of the map on 1v1 Zimbabwe. So it should be very, very easy for players to do a couple of walls at the back and secure the wood line and not have to worry about raids like we did in the team games. Can you narrate everything that happens because I'm audio only? I will do my best, but no promises. So far, neither player has gone for the extra boars, which is very surprising. Both players have lumber camps. I've got some builds on wood. Oh, Steve's sending 3 villagers down to the bottom, so I guess he's going to build a mill. Yep, I see a mill foundation. He's instantly going to walk into a crocodile, though. He sees the crocodile, he backs up, he's got loom coming. He's got 3 bills there to punch the crocodile. He is fine. No worries. Can you sign everything because I'm video only? If I knew sign language, I could try to do that, but that would also require turning on a webcam, so that's very unlikely. I think Violet just doesn't know the meta where you're supposed to send a villager to lure a boar or two and block with your scout to get that extra food into your TC. Also hasn't found 2 of a buffalo, which is a little bit unfortunate. This is maybe too much narration. I assume you're talking to Dodo in the chat. But it definitely looks like neither player is going for any sort of trust shenanigans, so we're going to be seeing FCs. The question is, what are they going to FC into? Right, let's drop in farm. She's pushing a deer and using a buffalo to hold open the gates. That's pretty decent. But I think missing out on 2 boars, which should be pretty free most of the time if you take them at minute 2, is, I think, a bit of a missed opportunity. And then down here, Steve's taking the second boar, and he's just gone straight out and milled it with a bunch of villagers instead of trying to lure them back home. And Violet probably doesn't have any scouting in this bottom corner. Let's take a look. Nope, not at all. So she's not even going to know that there's villagers down here from Steve for quite a long time. Steve is on the way up to feudal age now. Going up 24 pop. With a barracks. He's got 2 bills on stone and 3 bills on gold. I don't think he's going to have the food to click up. Why is he saying Thai? I have no idea what's going on. Barracks means 3 archers. We've got blacksmith. We do have range. So we've got the 2 buildings. I guess Steve will just about... Actually, he will get the resources. I guess I've underestimated the hunt bonus for Mongols a little bit right here. But FC with a range for Mongols seems very, very weird. Especially against Koreans. Wouldn't you expect Koreans to be doing, wagons? So, I feel like step lancers should be the play here. The Violet have been hitting the feudal age right now, going mark up blacksmith, plenty of resources, easily able to FC, but no villagers mining stone yet. Nope, now we're sending 8 villagers from under the TC to go get stone. And Steve has now taken all the boars that were near his mill, and now he's moving on to the deer. Absolutely cracked Mongol eco going at the moment. He's, 400-ish Frez ahead at this stage of the game, which is quite significant this early in the game. The question is, are the petards plus wagons going to be able to kick Steve in the nuts? Oh, Steve's got a bunch of bills on stone. I didn't actually realize this. Is he going to go for a forward castle and just use the archers to defend it? Interesting. Ha. I mean, this is a play. And I guess against a better player, no offense, Violet, it probably is, much safer going for these archers. But I don't think it's necessary at all. Panda and I knew this was coming before the game even started. I mean, I understand that this is a bit of a Steve meme, but I'm going to assume competence and, real plays instead of random meme shit like this. Like, Steve is entirely reliant on these villagers, half of which are injured on his outside hunt right now for food eco. He's only just now building a mill on his berries at home. Like, I get that Mongols have nice eco on this map because of all the hunts, but Mangudai just do not seem like the unique unit you want to be making. I would say Violet probably wants to be getting Bodkin Arrow pretty soon. And honestly, I would just straight up ignore all this shit. Like, get 2 petards, like 3 or 4 wagons, and just go around the side and get into Steve's base. Or go down here to the bottom. Like, you should know that Steve is down here. Yeah, like, you've seen the mill, so just straight up send your wagons down here to harass this. There's nothing that Steve can really do to stop this. Like, we've got a bit of an overreaction at home, building a siege workshop and a rocket cart. I guess maybe we're worried that Steve's going to go for a ram rush, but that doesn't seem realistically like a realistic play, I think, at this point. The archers are getting a little bit of harassment in, but the wagons should clean this up easily. I think Violet needs to get a couple of villas on stone, stonewall the back so that the back wood line is safe, so that she's not reliant on the weird little corner woods in her base, and then stops these Mangudai running around the back like this. I feel like Violet should be in a perfectly reasonable position right now if she just uses her army. And, you know, makes a couple more. Like, her eco balance is definitely not great. She can make a couple more farms. That would definitely help. Oh, and now she finds these gold bills that are just chilling out here. Steve is going fast here with Mongols. What in the world? Imagine if Violet had just made, like, 4 or 5 rams. 4 or 5 rams, she kills this castle before Steve hits Imp. Easy peasy, game's over. I think even if Steve does hit Imp, as long as Violet actually makes wagons, which she's not doing at the moment, which is the problem. But if she masses, like, 15, 20 war wagons, like, you don't really care about a single trebuchet underneath the castle. You just run under there and you can kill it. You can start massing rams as soon as he hits Imp. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for Violet right now with the Koreans. She does have 5 rocket carts, sorry. Where are they all? Holy moly. Yeah, I don't think 5 rocket carts is the play by any means. Those should have been rams or more wagons or more TCs for eco. Like, I maybe understand the first rocket cart, just for some added defenses, but 5 of them only make sense if you're expecting a big ram rush. And so far, with our scouting, we have not seen the siege workshop. We have no indication that might be happening. And like right now, we could still be going for our own rams and our own wagons if we just start making units. We'll kill these bills. That's a nice pickup, but I feel like Violet's just not really doing any sort of reaction at this point. And Steve is essentially going to win this game with like 2 trebuchets. Which is a little bit sad in my opinion. Like, at any point in the last 10 minutes, we could have petarded into Steve's base, or done some rams to kill his castle, or added TCs for eco. It's too late now to start adding eco, though. We are going for the stone walls on the side, which I do like to see. But I think it's a little bit too little, a little bit too late. We're going for scale mail armor? I assume this is a misclick. I don't know what we would want to make with the Koreans. I mean, I guess we get fire lances, but I don't think that's very good against Mangudai. These villagers are still just chilling down here, taking hunt. I think this game was incredibly winnable for Violet. Doesn't realize she automatically gets archer armor. Could be. And so she just clicked one of the armor upgrades instead. Ugh, Steve's killing so many vills with Mangudai. GG, well played. I agree that it's GG. I don't think that this play from Steve should work at all against stronger players. Like, especially like Korean seems like such a hard counter to this play if you do anything aggressive. Like, you could even try to just match them with the fast imp. Like, that would be difficult, obviously, because Mongols have an eco bonus and Koreans don't. But in theory, she could have easily denied all the hunt that Steve was taking. And if instead of making the 5 rocket carts, she had, another 7 or 8 farmers, she might have been able to do a similar in time. And then she does get the benefit of having bomber cannons. Although Mangadai are pretty good at sniping a siege like that. We'll go take a look at the civs. We'll update my incorrect assumptions for both of these civs. Feels bad, Ben. I know absolutely nothing about civ drafting. So that means for Pizza, if we don't have Mongols, are we going to do Celts? Celts to chop through quickly? I guess? And then Portuguese or Sicilians? This is why Daisy does squad drafts. Are you saying that I don't know how to draft, or that Daisy doesn't know how to draft? I'm unsure who we're insulting right now, Panda. This isn't any old civ drafting. This is M&S civ drafting. Okay, fair enough. Well, we're going to game 2, and game 2 seems to be on Arabia, so they don't seem to be too stressed about playing the maps in order. And we're going for Goths. The civ that Violet has randomly been assigned is the civ that she decides to pick against Steve's first pick. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I guess maybe she was wanting to pick a man-at-arms civ anyway for Arabia, and just timed out being unable to decide which one, and then ended up with Goths, and it's like, fine, that works. But at that point, it's like, shouldn't you have picked that before your third pick instead? No, strange. Was aimed at you, but can make it both of you. Okay, fair enough. I feel like my drafting makes a ton of sense for anybody that is logical. That's my copium excuse right now. Gots into Ethy is kind of okay. I mean, yes. I think the problem is that if you're not aggressive enough, Ethiopians are just going to get a big massive archers in feudal age, and then there's not much you can really do about it. And like, you really don't want to be going for what's the word? Like, an early castle in Duskulls most of the time. It's like definitely not your ideal army comp in the early stages of the game. Violet's been having good games on the ladder with Goths. So that's why she picked it, even though it's random. Okay, I guess that does make some sense. We have 3 on wood for Steve, so we're probably going to be seeing men-at-arms. That is a Steve classic, isn't it? We've got the mill, and then we're going to put up the barracks, go up to feudal age, make some men-at-arms. Makes a lot of sense. Hopefully Goths are going to do the same thing. We also see the mill coming up. Only 2 on wood, though. So that does mean that the barracks is going to be a little bit delayed, but hopefully we can make up for that with a bit of a faster feudal age. Skirmishes counter everything. I mean, true. They do. So what, Goths just play full man-at-arms skirms? I guess that could make sense. And Ethiopians don't have good scouts. Steve's going for 20 pop-up. He should have all the food, yeah, just a little bit force dropping, and he's good to go. He's actually taking his ville off the barracks. There we are, the barracks finished. Violet is also up. Going up on 19 pop with a lot of idle time, which is not ideal. We have a lot of villagers on wood right now. We do see the barracks come up, so we might be going for our own man-at-arms. But if that's the case, we probably need to get at least 1 villager to start gathering gold already, so that we can afford the man-at-arm upgrade. Nope. We're about to hit feudal age, we haven't made a single militia, so I guess we're just going to do scouts instead at this point. Seems we do have vills on berries. We're going for an archery range. What? We haven't seen them in an arms from Steve. Look, scouts are that. Yeah, I guess we're just going like 1 archer and some skirms. Probably. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, okay, nice. We get the quick wall off. The scout is going to kill a villager, though. And then runs away. And we still haven't actually made a military unit. We've been feudal for a minute and a half. We haven't made a single ranged unit. And we're about to get bazoned by 2 men-at-arms. I guess there was actually a 3rd man-at-arm. Yikes. Okay, we do walk into the TC, though. So that's nice. The men-at-arms have been cleaned up, but they did manage to kill 3 villagers while they were here. Ah, not ideal. I feel like we had the perfect opportunity there to defend men-at-arms if we just made 1 archer and 2 skirms as soon as we hit feudal age. Back at home, Steve has a couple of archers. He's going for a very early market. We've got a ton of wood in the bank. Not the best eco balance right now. But I guess that's what the market's for. Market does cure all problems. I definitely don't like the archers just chilling out here out the front of his base, not doing anything at all. Like, they should be sitting inside this archery range, or they should be garrisoned, or like ungarrisoned next to the berries or on this hill over here to defend a push from either side. Because while they're sitting here, like 3 or 4 skirms walk into them, or some scouts, and they just die for free. When there's only like small numbers of them, they can't easily defend themselves, which is a little bit of a problem. Violet could snipe this villager. Full HP scout versus a loomed villager all by itself. But we do see the archers coming forward, and we do finally have some military being produced by Violet. But we've got idle vills all over the place. We have 700 food in the bank, which is absolutely insane. I think we overreacted a little bit to the wood float that we had early feudal age, and we took vills off wood. I guess we were raided as well, so our wood vills were no longer working. But we just don't have any army that's actually able to do anything. I mean, in theory, we can kill this with a couple of skirms. But we don't have fletching yet. We don't have any vills on gold, so we have no way of actually getting fletching anytime soon. So we could be out-microed pretty hard by the +1 range on the archers. Where did that low HP vill go? Did it die? Yes, it did. Oh, that's unfortunate. And we do see armor coming in straight away. I mean, the armor makes a lot of sense if you're straight up fighting archers with skirms, but it does require getting the skirms out of the archery range and sending them over here to fight the archers. Looks like Steve has found out his match here in terms of idle TC time. Oh yes, Violet. We have 700 food in the bank. There is no reason not to be making bills right now. Yeah, I think that's fair, Ronnie. She's done a couple of the right things, but not enough of them, and not at the right moments. And yeah, it definitely does make sense. Like, I was not expecting Violet to win a game, straight up, but I think she definitely could have won that first game with some more correct responses. Okay, we do have Steve starting to use the market. We've had the market for a solid, like, 3 or 4 minutes now. We're also mining stone. Are we going for Ford Castle? I mean, I guess if you think you're winning, like, a castle just sort of finishes the game. But I don't necessarily know if it's the best idea with the Ethiopians. Like, I'd prefer to just sell all the stone and buy your way up to Castle Age right now. Like, sell 300 stone, buy 200 food, you're pretty much there. And by God, we need new lumber camp. Oh, perfect timing. I know we do see the new lumber camp. And back at home, we're just sort of chilling, sitting in front of our base. And where is our scout at the moment? The scout is just wandering around the map. I guess we're on auto scout right now. I think it would be more useful to go see what the hell Steve's doing. Right? See if he's fully walled yet, see if you can deal any damage, try to find where his army is. Because, like, you're obviously behind at this point, Violet, and we're still idling the TC like no tomorrow. We've idled for, like, 12, like, 14, maybe 15 villages already. Plus the 4 that we've lost. And we do see Steve is now up to the castle age. Our army is finally coming forward, but really, like, 5 skirms and an archer isn't really that threatening. And it's very, very difficult to kill vills or skirms in the first place. And, like, with the 13 archers that Steve has at home, he can probably defend this quite easily. Even though it is the counter unit to his army. If Violet rushes a castle, she could have a Phosphoro Eco. I mean... The problem is that Goths also don't have a Phosphoro unique unit, so It doesn't really achieve anything to do that, I don't think. Oh, is Violet going to see the stone? She does. Nope, we're just going to walk all the way past. What are we doing at home at the moment? We're starting to mine our own stone. I mean, we're up to castle. We're trying to do some raids. We're microing back. Nice. But as we see, like, we do so little damage to Vills that as long as Steve, like, reacts correctly and pulls away the injured Vills, it should be very, very difficult to actually do any damage. Steve's army is coming up from the back now. The Vills are here. The army is going to get cleaned up right now. And what is Steve going to do? Your crossbow being researched. Got Bodkin as well. We could probably do Bowsaw as well if we want to. The question is, where are we going to build the castle? Are we just going to drop it in the open hold of his base? No. We're going, like, almost all the way forwards, but not completely. Like, it could be 4 tiles further forward and deny the gold, which I think would be far more useful. I don't quite understand that position, to be honest. The army has now been cleaned up by the crossbows. Violet's in Castle Age, but I don't really know what we're planning to do in Castle. We don't have a market, so we can't use its gold float. If we want to build a defensive castle, a market would be brilliant right now, so we can buy the 100, 200 stone we need. But we're not making any more skirms. We're not really doing anything at all. So even without these villas building a forward castle, Steve should just be able to win the game at this point with his crossbow army. Like, one of the most common pieces of feedback that I will give new quote-unquote players is just do something with your resources. It doesn't really matter what it is. Like, obviously making spearmen at this point wouldn't be amazing, but you can at least force the crossbows to run away while they're microing to kill the spearmen, which then hopefully gives you time to do something, right? Gives you time to make some skirms, gives you time to build a castle or a tower to defend your woodline. Like, having all these resources really doesn't do anything for you now. But saying that, we're 2,500 resources behind, so it doesn't really matter what we do at this stage of the game. But if we're going to keep playing, we should do something. And I guess the plan is for us just to go for some Huskarls to defend, but we don't have the food echo for Huskarls. Like, some farms around the mill would be nice. And I guess Steve is going to make Shotels, which I guess kind of counter Huskarls. I mean, they probably win in a straight-up fight, I think, but the Huskarls are probably more useful all rounds because, obviously you can go raid, you can run into TCs, they're not vulnerable to the crossbows, they're out in the field. Although I don't think the second barracks makes any sense right now. We don't need to research Anarchy right now. We can't afford to do Anarchy. We need to just start making Huskarls out of the one castle that we have, which is like already enough production. We don't need more. And instead, send these villagers to make more farms so we can actually afford to make these Huskarls and get the upgrades that we need for them. Like getting some attack upgrades is probably useful. I wouldn't say no to an armor upgrade or two. I wouldn't say no to the speed upgrade, Squires. Okay, we're going for market. Oh, I think we're trying to do Anarchy, forgetting that we can just make the Huskarls straight out of the castle. Which is a bit of an oopsie. Scouts just chilling at the back. Like, we've bought 100 food. We are doing Anarchy. Like, in the time it's taken for us to buy 100 food, buy 200 food, build a market, we could have just made 7 Huskarls at least out of this castle. And I think 7 Huskarls probably kills 17 crossbows. And now we are actually queuing Huskarls behind Anarchy. Which means, like, we've just spent all this resources on Anarchy and we can't actually afford to use the 2 barracks that we have. If TC is going to get finished, hopefully we notice and just garrison really fast so we can start shooting these crossbows. Yeah, we do. We do notice. Nice. Very, very nice. I guess I shouldn't complain too much. I was saying that I just want Violet to spend her resources on something. So, Anarchy is something. So I can't be too harsh in that case. But I didn't realize you were streaming. That's okay. You can always jump back in the body if you want to. I think game 1 was really good, Violet. I think that you had chances to win that game with some slightly better decision making, But this game has been an absolute mess from the beginning. Steve is making a very, very large number of hotels. Does Steve know that there's a castle here? No, he doesn't. He's about to find out. Like, at this point, we're very much just sort of sitting around and waiting for Steve to do something to win this game. Don't laugh at my lack of understanding of Huskarls. I mean, the bigger problem was waiting for Anarchy instead of just making Huskarls straight up out of your castle. Like, you built the castle, and then it spent you about 4 minutes to build a market, build a barracks, buy some food to get Anarchy, and in that time you could have just made 10 Huskarls. And then, like, we still haven't actually used the barracks to make any Huskarls, so Anarchy has done absolutely nothing for us. G'day, Hopsy, how's it going? My weakness. What is the weakness? Oh, the market. I mean, I'm pretty sure that your army of 12 Huskarls will absolutely destroy these crossbows. So, you could protect this market if you want to. Like, your unit has 6 pierce armor base, so... Like, the first armor upgrade is, like... not even needed, right? They have 7 attack, you have 6 armor. So, the second armor does absolutely nothing if you're fighting just units like this. You have 500 more gold than you need at the time to drop a market. I mean, that's what Violet did. And there we are. All the crossbows are instantly destroyed. Steve, by the way, has 2,000 food and 1,500 gold. He could have gone Imperial Age twice over now. Also has more idle time than Violet somehow. Just typical Steve things. We've got a second castle coming up. So we're obviously just going to go castle, make some trebs. And these showtells, I mean... the showtells are just going to kill anything that Violet can make right now in these numbers. Although these Huskarls, they could easily break a palisade wall or a house if they wanted to get in and go for some raids. I think that's probably the best thing that you can do right now. Oh, new market. Potentially going to be killed right there. There we are, we're in. Mass migration, let's go. Oh, we found some builds back here. Nice. Very, very nice. We've also found the stone. But on the other side, the Shotel is just ripping through the building. They do have arson. They are fully upgraded for Castle Age. I'm not sure if they'll be able to kill this TC because it's underneath the castle. But I don't think it matters too much because we're going to have 2 trebs soon. And then that will kill the castle. And then we do see back at home, like, we did actually kind of miss that fight, but the Showtails absolutely just ripped through the Huskarls. We're starting to attack Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms are not any better. I don't think. Just, like, the huge attack value the Showtails have is the problem right here. Making trebs is cheating. GG, well played. Okay, so we're back to the very, very confusing Civ draft. Also, excuse my numbers, I assume that we're going to go to Pizza Pizza next. Oh, looks that should be a win. I think that using Guts is also very, very strange. Because, like, you didn't even pick the Civ, you just sort of, like, randomed into it. I didn't know how the draft of Guts was random because of random. Yeah, I figured that's what happened, but then choosing to use it instead of the Civ that you actually picked is an interesting decision. What do Goths do versus Showtails before they get hand cannons? They probably have to just Castle Age crossbows, really. Knights are probably okay, but I think realistically, you'd want to not let your opponent just freely get to the position where they can build a castle and make Showtails without something happening to punish them, right? Like, the game was essentially over already before that point, because Violet was, 3,000 resources behind. So it didn't really matter what happened once Castle Age hit, because, everything was just stacked too hard against her. Okay. Now we're going to Pizza Pizza, and we're playing Sicilians. I think Sicilians have some use cases on this map, right? Like Dark Age Donjon, so you can like deny a woodline or something, and then follow it up with the the shooting ability once you get feudal. Oh, okay. Unfortunate TC. Where are these villas going, Violet? I don't know. Also, how is that villager injured? Oh, okay, you built that house because you accidentally attacked a boar. Okay, makes sense. Both players should recognize that the enemy has a TC. Oh, maybe not. We've just barely missed it for Steve. Violet sees the TC though. Uh-oh. Okay, this is going to be an interesting game. Now down here, Violet has not built a lumber camp or a mill yet. Steve has just been wandering around aimlessly with these villas as well, but we're about to build a mill and some deer. So Violet does understand mostly what you're supposed to be doing on this map, right? Like, maybe she's seen the games that Noz has played, where you build your lumber camp next to your TC so that you can cut through pretty quickly and link up on the side. Steve has two more villages that are just aimlessly wandering around doing absolutely nothing. Very, very unsure what the plan is here. Violet's going for another house. TC is up for both players. Violet does need to queue vills. There we are. I think the feedback here is likely to be pizza. It's really hard. Practice the Dark Age. I mean, yes. Also, get villages working. But I think that should go for like every map that you've never played before. You should, you know, at least practice it once or twice so that you have a vague idea. Oh, got some chat. What the fuck is this map? Pausing so I can explain. This is very nice of you. You should never have to do this. Like, it is 100% on your opponent to know what to do on the map. If they don't know what to do, if they don't know how the map spawns, that's their problem. You should not be helping him out here. It's very, very kind of you, and I would not be doing this myself, I think. One area has lots of food, one more gold and stone, and some food, and the bottom one has some stone. Yep. Do you want a minute to think about the plan? You're so kind, Violet. He definitely has picked the right one to build his TC in. So he's got that correct. Although, the point of being in this section is that you send your villagers to start gathering food so you can go to food age. So, like, luring some boars would be the goal soon. Violet still has these two villas idle, doing absolutely nothing. Steve is building a mining camp on stone. Ooh, stop telling her off for sportsmanship. I mean, it's got nothing to do with sportsmanship. It's just, it's a tournament. Like, your opponent should know what to do. I was waiting for that. The thing is, like, you can just kill a deer and wait for the wood to build a mill. Because it takes a villager, like, a minute to gather 35 food. So, you've got a minute's time where you gather some food. And then once they finish the deer, you can then build, or like, fully gather their food. You can then build the mill and then get them back onto food. So, like, at this point, you're essentially minus 70 food for no reason whatsoever. It's a friendly tournament. The prizes are the friends we make along the way. No, the prizes are beating our friends along the way. And the baked goods. I mean, if you want to get the baked goods, you need to beat people, and the best way to beat people is not to tell them what to do on maps. You can just instant drop some utility buildings and then make houses later because of how long a TC takes. Yeah, that's true. Like, instead of building these two houses, you could have just straight up built the mill, and then these two villages that are on wood, if they start chopping fast enough, should gather enough wood to start building houses. I mean, Violet definitely has a better idea of what to be doing on this map. But I do actually hate that. Is there a way to flip players side to side? Help. Hockeys. Mm. It doesn't seem to be a thing. Because if I could flip the scoreboard so that Violet was on the right, that would make a lot more sense. Alt plus S. Oh, fuck. Yes, thank God, Panda. I scrolled past it. Well, I'm not very good at reading, okay? I'm from the TV Discord. Like, that just makes sense. Yeah, I'd say, like, the biggest problem for Violet so far has been, I guess, the TC being in this section of the map. Just because there's not enough food to really do anything. Like, that's the big problem. The biggest problem for Steve is building a mining camp on stone instead of a mining camp on gold, or just, like, milling and, like, killing a boar or something. Or a lumber camp would be the best option. Like, Steve is about to go feudal age. I guess he could always just make archers with these vills, now that he's got some gold and come with these ones. We see Violet taking in another boar. We are actually up to feudal age a lot faster. And we have a ton of wood in the bank. The question is, what are we going to... Oh, look at that! Steve! With the plays! And then he immediately walks away, giving Violet a chance to punch down the wall. Yeah, like, same sort of thing, right? Like, he should just, like, stack that with, like, 3 layers of palisade to make sure that these vills can't get through. Oh! No! Oh, that is unfortunate. Oh, and then we've killed a deer so we can't build a house. Oh, rip. Right, we're going for a donjon. The problem is the donjon is in range of the TC. We want this to be, like, a tile, maybe 2 tiles backwards. It's not the end of the world. We just need to get some more vills back. Oh, why are we making sergeants, though? Market Blacksmith. Steve's trying to go FC. Like, Violet should know that Steve has 2 villages in this section somewhere, right? So, like, at least one of these sergeants should be running around this bottom side trying to find where those vills are. Trying to kill them. Oh, and the TC's just, like, absolutely nuke the donjon. Unfortunate. And we've got a ton of villages on gold, but we don't have a market. Definitely not ideal. We do have more stone mining, so we can build another donjon soon. We try to walk down this way and, you know, build it 1 tile away from this line. Like, touching this corner of this tree would be perfect, so it denies the entire wood line. But the problem with TCing this section, like we see right now, is that Steve just has free access to all of the food on this map, on this quadrant. Thirdrant? Third? I guess third would be the correct wording for that. It's a bit of a bit of a dumb moment right there, not being able to figure that out. Alright, we're signing. Oh, that is a a yikes position to build a castle. Oh, please don't try to punch it. You're never going to punch down a castle. I mean, maybe there's only 3 vills building it. You could punch a castle down. The problem is that you are in range of the TC with the vills. And the donjon once again. But we are denying the castle, right? If we can mine a little bit more stone, we build another donjon down on this side, we can deny this castle indefinitely. Which is nice. We do still have these 4 sergeants that can come over here and punch down these vills if they want to. We've also got a barracks over here, and we've made a militia. So once again, like, we know that there are 2 villages here somewhere. So this militia could be hunting those villagers, trying to kill them. We are punching the castle again while we're in range of the TC. That's very not good, would be the terminology that I would use. The TC has 9 vill kills already. We also need a garrison in this donjon so it actually shoots more than 1 arrow at a time to actually kill these villagers. Oh, and we actually let the castle go up. No. I think the sergeants have actually gone around the top side. They could have tried hunting villagers, but there actually aren't any out and about taking hunt right now. And we do see 2 villager castle here in the middle of the map. I guess technically this is one of the best places to build a TC, because you can gain access to all 3 areas with the smallest amount of chopping required. This is making me consider picking Pizza. I mean, I think that if you play this map against somebody who has no idea what they're doing, it should be a free win. Quite frequently. The problem is that if they do know what they're doing, then it becomes a very, very different matter. Because if they know more, if they have a better idea of what they want to do compared to you, then they're gonna kind of bazone you. Anyone know if yes played this map before? I have no idea. I have no idea. Hey Bombay, how's it going, man? Um, yeah, I'm doing okay. So there we are. We have Sicilians, and we have the Celts. I definitely think Portuguese would have been a better civ to pick instead of Sicilians, but that does kind of require a TC in the food section. Because Portuguese having access to all these berries would be very lovely, I must say. I say that as you can't actually see what I'm pointing at, because I was still in capture age and OBS is not. But you understand that the top left section has food in it. He'd pick Celts and kill my organ guns. With, like, mangonels? Or word raiders? Like, I don't think anything that you've really done in this game was, like, that specific to Sicilians. Like, the donjons, like, the benefit is that you have sergeants, but your sergeants haven't really done anything, and, like, you would have achieved the same amount of damage with just a normal watchtower, is the problem.